You're listening to The Polished Woman with Jessica Bunevacz, only on LA Talk Radio.
Hi, good Monday. Happy Monday. Ladies, I was supposed to have a show with another guest, Christina De Rosa. She is she's amazing. She's an amazing actress, but for some reason, there was a technical issue from our video. So now I'm doing live. So I'm sorry if I'm not prepared. I just literally prepared this morning. But I'm going to talk to three beautiful, what do you call that? One is teenager and two of them are already on their early 20s. And they are amazing. We used to all be on the show with Yolanda Hadid. I don't know if you remember this. It was like a show from 3 years ago, I believe. Or wait, 5 years ago? 5 years ago. That's 5 years ago with Yolanda Hadid. So it was a special show. So I have the girls, some of the girls, including my daughter, Brianna, Athena, and Lillian Cole on the show today. But we're going to talk about the millennials, what they want, what they think, and about everything about the International Women's Day today. Not today, it's tomorrow. Every March 8th, we celebrate Women's Day. But first, I want to give you a very beautiful quote, which I always love. Anything that she writes, any quote that she writes, I love her. From Maya Angelou. I love to see a young girl go out and grab the world by the lapels. Life's a bitch. You've got to go out and kick ass. Yeah, you got to go out there and kick ass. Because if you're just like lazy and what is that word? Procrastinating, then you're not going to go anywhere. So who actually started International Women's Day? Actually, a woman named, what is her name? Clara Zetkin started National Women's Day. And a National Women's Day was marked in the United States on February 28, 1909. But it wasn't until 1911 that the first International Women's Day took place with Austria, Denmark, and Germany and Switzerland taking part. In 1975, the event was made official through recognition by the UN. Wow, I didn't even know. This was like a long time ago. So that's every March 8th. What is their mission? Their mission is to shine a spotlight on activity uplifting and inspiring women to pursue goals without bias or barrier. So the hashtag is hashtag International Women's Day 2022 and hashtag break the bias. So women's empowerment, this is what they said on their website. Women's empowerment comes from all sources, people, areas, and perspective. And International Women's Day is powered by the collective efforts of all. In fact, it is the collective action worldwide and shared ownership for women's equality that make International Women's Day so impactful. So this is why I invited these three young ladies. Instead of inviting somebody like my age, I wanted to hear the perspective of these young women, because I know that women's empowerment promotes a sense of self-worth, an ability to determine one's own choices, and a right to influence change. And I know these millennials, these young women, are the one that will influence a big change in the future. So I want to ask them, how do you continue to empower the women in your life? So welcome to our show, my daughter, Brianna. Brianna and Athena. Hello. Hi. We are still waiting for Lillian. Can we text her where she is? Hi, Athena. Hi, Dave. How are you?
Good.
So today is International Women's Day. I wanted a different perspective from someone like your age, your generation, instead of my generation, because we've talked about it, in our age, what International Women's Day is. So how will you celebrate Women's Day? Is this something that's important for both of you? Let me ask Brianna.
I mean, I feel like every
should
day
look.
should be Women's Day. I mean, it's not like, oh, today is only how good we're
Yeah.
supposed to be women. It's just like, I mean, it's nice to have it and it's nice to hear it, but I feel like, it shouldn't be just today. It should be every day.
How about you, Athena?
I agree. I think it's the same thing with me. I think it's important to have it as like awareness and just like even talking to my mom this morning, thinking about like all the opportunities we have now versus like the opportunities my grandma had, my great grandma had. So I think it's really just a time to like remember that and acknowledge all the progress that we've made, but also understand that it's not perfect and there's still areas in like the world and different women across the world that don't have the same equalities or rights that I have. So
Right? I know, right? It's really, I mean, I think back somehow in my country, I think there's still a little bit of, the whole like, not there's not much of the equality out there. I think most of the third world country, I guess, right? But it's good that we are starting a new era, right? A new generation that's like, you should treat us right because not because we're women, we're weak. We're not weak. We're actually, we're the one kicking ass there. Oh, sorry. Right? Okay. I want to ask you this question. Do you think that International Women's Day is an important holiday? And why or why not? Let's start with you, Athena.
I think it is. I think it's the same thing of what I said, just like acknowledging how far we've come and all the progress that's been made for women throughout the years, but
Mhm.
also acknowledging that, like we are just talking about, there's certain parts of the world and even certain things in America that's not necessarily equal, and there's still things that we need to work on as a society.
Okay. How about you, Boo?
Yeah, I mean, just to agree with Athena, I think having this holiday is a really good recognition day just for all the amazing women that have done incredible things for our country and around the world. Um, so yeah, I mean, I feel like sometimes people do forget to like the recognition, like I said, for
Yeah.
women and what they've done because women really have done so much for this country and for this world. And I feel like some people may forget at times, so maybe International Women's Day is a good day to remember that.
I know. And I just saw this that they don't really give too much attention, actually, right? For this special holiday. Do you think they should really give an attention for this kind of holiday, right? Because we're so important. Without us, there will be no babies. Well, right? There will be no babies.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. In your opinion though, what's one area where you think there could be more improvement in the lives? I want to ask you this, Athena, and I'll ask you this later. In your opinion, what is one area where you think there could be more improvement in the lives of women?
Um,
There's a lot of improvements that we need to prove, but in your own opinion, what do you think?
yeah, I think as of now, like for me, there's a lot of opportunities as a woman in America, but I think in a lot of other countries, there's not as many opportunities. Like women don't really have choices of what they can do when they grow up. It's
Mhm.
usually they have like a list of a few. So I think supporting women and providing education and just like encouraging and building up women to be able to do the things that they're passionate about, um, and get them outside of what they are expected to. I
Mhm.
think that area, and then of course like just safety and
Yeah.
use around the world, and just it's definitely needs improvement.
There's a lot, yeah. How about you, Brianna? What do you think, in your own opinion, like where you live and maybe your culture as well? What else? How can we, and improve more? What can
Mm,
you advise, like women or girls like your age?
advice or what?
Hmm.
You said improve.
Yeah, improvement. Like, what else can they improve?
Like women?
Yeah.
I don't think I have the right to tell them what they need to improve on. I mean, I think it's, us as women, it's really hard because we have a lot to handle, including like, walking down the street alone. I think just for women is a really scary thing. And,
Yeah.
just like social media and like seeing your body image, I think women have a lot of trouble nowadays just seeing how a body should be looked at or how you should eat or what you should eat or what you should wear. So I think just like women empowering more women need to be improved just to, for everyone to feel equal and to feel loved like the same way,
Mhm.
and to not feel ashamed at all in any type of way.
Yeah, that's so true. Athena, think that the social media is a good way to somehow, share something that you want to improve in on a woman or social media sometimes can be harmful as well?
What improve on a woman? Like,
Yeah. Like, do you think that social media is a good tool or a good tool that you can use to empower other women, or it's really more of like sometimes it's a bad, it's not helpful at all?
yeah, I think social media in any sense could be a tool or it could be used harmful. Oh, hey, Lily.
Hi.
Ah, here is she. Well, ladies, if you are listening and tuning in, you are tuning in on the Polished Woman Show on LA Talk Radio. And I have the three models from the show 5 years ago making a model. And now they're all grown up. They were like very young, 13 years old and 16, right, Lillian?
Yeah.
Yeah, and now they have their own lives and they're just like all grown up. And I think they're all matured now from 5 years ago, right? Now I wanna. So do you think? So we were talking about social media. So you think it could also be a good tool to use, right, to empower other women?
Yeah, I think it all really goes back to like what's the heart of using it. I think if you're using it to empower women, it could be a really beautiful thing. But at the same time, like there's definitely examples of it being the opposite. So it really goes by person to person.
Yeah. So, Lillian, I want to ask you, since you just joined us, do you think that International Women's Day is an important holiday for you? Why or why not?
Yes, absolutely. Now that I'm a mom, I definitely think it is because we definitely go through a lot as a woman, for sure. And it's not so much a like, you don't give like gifts like Christmas and Valentine's Day and stuff like that. Like, it's just like love. Like, you just give love to other women and hype other women up and make women feel good about themselves and stuff like that. So definitely.
That's right. You are now a mom. How is it
I know.
being a mom? How are you? Because I see Athena all the time with us. Like we haven't really like, I for women and for the girls that are gonna watch this later on, because I'm gonna post this also on YouTube, and I know you guys have a lot of like, followers and stuff. How are you guys? I wanna ask you one by one, but okay, let's start with you, Lily. How are you? How is being a mom?
I'm good. Being a mom, it's stressful for sure, but it's the most rewarding thing ever in life. Like, I really don't know what I would do without him ever. He's just my entire world, and being a mom is amazing. It's stressful and it's hard, and you go through trials every day, but it is the best thing that you will ever do in your life. Athena and Brianna, it will be the best thing you ever do in your life.
I know, I had Lily, Athena, Brand. I know, I'm sure you guys know. I had my first child when I was 18 years old. It was really tough, and I had, what do you call this? I had so many dreams in my life that I I've wanted to do. I wasn't done
Yeah.
when I had my child. But of course, you have to take care of your child. You have to be
Yeah.
there for them. But that did not stop me, I guess, because we didn't have money during the time and I had to like take care of my siblings. That didn't stop me to pursue what I want in life. And
Yeah.
that didn't stop me from, and I was a single mom. I didn't have anyone. I don't know, your situation, Lily, and everything, but um, I did it on my own. I did
Yeah.
that because we're talking about International Women's Day. I did not rely on any guy or the father of, Haika. I did it all on myself because I know the relationship that I had with the father of Haika was not a good relationship.
Yeah.
It was forbidden
Yeah.
somehow. It was not right, as before, as a child of God, I said, I cannot hurt anybody, because back then the man was married and all, and so I said it was not right. I took care of Haika on my own, and so how did I take care of her? I worked, I pursued my dream, and I pursued whatever is right for my daughter. So I my just my advice as a mom, a second mom,
Yeah.
like you, be tough and be strong, and God is always with you. Whatever
It's
you're going
definitely
through,
it's definitely made me a lot stronger. A lot stronger. Like I
right?
most of the stuff that I've already been through, I'm like, how did I do that? But if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have ever known how strong I can actually be.
Yeah. And you have friends, your friends and
Yes.
family that, is behind you, that will be with you. And you have us that will always like, guide you. And I know sometimes we don't listen to our parents, we listen to friends. So that's why surround yourself with good friends, surround yourself
Yeah.
that will actually really push you to be a better person and to push you to the right pathway. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. How about you, Athena? How are you? I know that a lot of your fans are waiting to find out how you are.
I'm doing good. I'm still here. I'm working. I'm grateful. Um, but yeah, I was just like thinking about the other day, like since being off the show to here, um, there's still definitely struggles, but just looking back, it's like the struggles are different and I'm in a better place now. So I don't know. I'm just really hopeful for everything that's coming.
Yeah. And there's always like, there's always like, what do you call that? A dream to accomplish. It's like never ending, right? There's always,
Yeah.
I've learned this from a show that I've watched. They said that when you have a wish that wants to happen in your life, like when it's your birthday, you have a wish. They said that that wish is compared to like a hole in your heart. So instead of wishing, just be grateful of what you have instead of wishing. Because when you have a wish in your heart or a wish in your mind, it's like, oh, you have a hole. It's something that's not there. So why do you want to do that? Why do you want to think of the things that are not there in your heart or that's not happening yet? Be grateful already of what you have. I'm
Yeah.
just saying this because you guys have been, because of the show. The show actually kind of, somehow helped you guys, right? To be a strong person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely about like being grateful while also having vision of the future. It's like one of my favorite verses is um, we in our hearts plan our course, but it's the Lord who establishes our steps. So I think it's just like resting in that like we can have all these plans, but like God can come in at any point and change things. And it's just about like trusting him and going with it.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. That's really hard to do, but when you trust, it works. How about you, Boo Boo?
I'm good. Everything's good. I've been blessed to get, a couple jobs this month, so grateful for that. And finally got all my college applications done, so now we're just in the waiting process, which I know can be very stressful for some people. Um, and, just living life day by day.
What is that verse, Athena? Live by faith and not by sight, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Like,
just like you. So this is my advice for you too. You guys, live by faith and not by sight. So every day you live. Okay, let's go back to International Women's Day. Who is one woman in your life that inspires?
definitely my mom. She's a very strong woman, and she doesn't compromise or back down when she knows something is wrong. She always confronts it.
Mhm.
So that's always been really inspiring to me because I tend to be a little bit non-confrontational and I can be shy sometimes, but she definitely reminds me to be strong and be vocal about how I feel and what's right and what's not right.
You know what? That's actually very, very true. You guys, your age, you're not very vocal of what you feel. You have to be vocal of what you feel. You have to express what you feel. You have to say it because if you keep it inside, somehow if you keep everything inside, it will just burst one of these days and you will be like, oh my God, So you have to express what you feel. And if you can't say it, write, email, text, it's very, very important. How about you, Lily?
Definitely my mom and
Yeah.
my grandma and the whole line of women that have helped me through the worst of times. And I look to them because they have been through some tough stuff. And I come
Mhm.
from a very strong, independent line of women. And
Mhm.
it definitely helps me see the things that they have been through. Like, I can definitely make it through what I'm going through right now if they can go through that too.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. How about you, Brianna?
Probably you. Just because you didn't grow up, just because you didn't raise kids the normal way. I mean, you had a tough situation and you just fought through it. Beautiful.
That's really,
It's cool.
that's really cool. Oh my gosh, you guys. Thanks, Boo.
Okay.
Yeah, I hope I really do inspire you. Oh, well, how do you and your female friends support each other? Oh, wait, I want this first before that. How are you, or how do you think you can actually be inspiring to other young girls? Who want to answer first?
How do you think you can inspire other people?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
How are you, or how do you think you can inspire, other young girls? You guys have a lot of followers from, on your Instagram or social media. How can you inspire young girls to not be like, okay, don't, you have your own body, or you have your own future, you have your own pathway. Like, how do you inspire them?
I would just think by probably not always showing like a perfect side, just like a perfect page. Because I know a lot of people compare themselves to a lot of people on Instagram that show a perfect page.
Mhm.
So probably just showing like natural side, like stretch marks or just like pimples even, or just, not having to like look so perfect all the time.
No, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's so true. That's so true. How about
I
how about
agree.
you? Yeah.
I
Whoever
definitely
wants
agree.
to, yeah. Whoever wants to.
I think like she said, like I put a lot of scriptures up on my stuff that people will DM me and be like, I really needed this. Like, thank you so much for doing that. And I try to show a side that nobody gets to see on a daily basis of like being a single mom and struggling, or going through the things that I've been through and crying and whatever, heartbreak, all this stuff. Like, I try to be as transparent as I can so that other women know that it's okay that you're not okay all the time, and that you go through things. And reaching out and putting things have helped me so much, because women have reached out to me and been like, I'm going through the same thing, or this helped me so much, and want to talk to me about stuff. And we sit and we talk, or we get on the phone and we talk. And so being as transparent as you can be on social media, especially because a lot of people compare people on social media.
Yeah, that's so true. How about you, Athena?
I think for me, it's not believing like the limitations that other people set on you. So like on the show, like, and even when I started modeling, a lot of it was because of like height. And people are saying like you can't model because of your height. But I think it's like kind of like what we were just talking about too, walking by faith and not by sight. And so just still pursuing modeling and still working as a model, or even like with acting and modeling, there's certain things that clients expect you to do, but there's certain things that I'm not willing to compromise on. So just being able to show other women that they don't have to necessarily do what everyone is telling them that they need to do, and that they can stay strong in their faith and what they believe in without having to compromise.
I love that the three of you guys, this is so amazing, like how God put you, the three of you together, and of course with other two models. But I've just noticed that the three of you are actually a big believer of Christ. I mean, what? Okay, what? What happened that made you, that you guys gave yourself to believing in your faith? Is there any struggle in your life that made you really wow? Because you never, okay, when we started, I never heard you guys talk about God. Like, everything was about, you guys know that. Well, by the way, you guys, whoever is listening right now, we all lived in one apartment in New York for like how many weeks? Like 3 months or how many weeks?
Yeah.
And we were together. And during that time, I remember, Lily, I was the one praying all the time inside the bathroom. And, I mean, now I'm like so proud of the three of you, that even if you're trying to pursue your dream, you're pursuing, something big in the future, but I'm so proud of the three of you that you're actually giving your life and your hope to God. I mean, what happened that made you close to God? And I hope that whoever is listening right now, moms, or teenagers or whoever, I mean, this is such an inspirational like conversation with these three young girls that who are in, I'm so blessed that instead of them being, going through a different pathway, they are actually on the line, the right, pathway where God is actually taking them. And I really believe, and for me, I think really believe that it's very important for, for the young generations to have somehow faith, whatever you believe. But these three, they believe in Christ Jesus, God, Holy Spirit. I mean, what made you guys believe in Him all of a sudden? Can you like share?
Yeah. So for me, I grew up in a Christian household. So I always kind of knew like who Jesus was, who God was. I would pray. But I never really read the Bible for myself up until probably like right before I graduated high school. And it was because I was going through a lot of anxiety. I was depressed. I was suicidal after the show, especially. And it got so bad. I ended up going to a doctor who told me, she was a naturopath. So she like told me that she could like put me on antidepressants right then. but she wanted me to like wait a month and try out these different diets and like natural vitamins and stuff. And long story short, in that same month, I just met someone else who was my age who also believed in God, and like it was different because everyone else I knew before that was all like older, like my grandma that like really took it seriously. And I didn't really get it. And this person just loved like loved God. And it was just like the first person my age that I really saw that read the Bible for fun and like not for fun, but like enjoy like actually enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And they would like do what it says. Like they would like their whole life was like focusing on doing what the Bible said. And that really convicted me at the time. And so I ended up like seeking out my own relationship for God because of that interaction. And I wasn't in a church or anything. I was in my room by myself one night. This was like 2 years ago. And I was about to go to sleep. And the night before, I had a whole mental breakdown. Like, just like every single night, I would basically cry myself to sleep. And that night, I was about to go to bed, and I like felt the need to specifically get on my knees and worship, which was so weird to me because I've never done that before. And it's like, I don't know what this is, but like at this point, like I'm at like my last straw. Like, what's the harm in doing it? So I like got out of bed. I got on my knees. I didn't know any worship songs at the time. The only worship song I knew was Hallelujah, but only like the Hallelujah part. So
Yeah.
I'm like on my knees, and I'm like singing Hallelujah for like 10 minutes, just bawling my eyes out. And at that night, I like rededicated my life to God. So I just prayed, and I was like, I'm done like keeping these certain parts of my life for me. Like I want you to actually come in to every single part of my life and like change it to look like you. And at that moment, like I felt like the biggest, warmest hug. And it's like the only time I've ever really felt that was that night. But it was like my room became a big hug, and I felt so much joy and peace and loved in that moment. And I realized that like everything I thought was joy or I thought was peace like before was like nothing compared to what I felt. And it's so crazy how quick like Jesus changed me because like I went and I told my family because I was so excited and I was crying. I was so happy. And
Yeah.
like they were all so scared because literally the night before I was like crying because I was so depressed. And then like the
That
next
all
day,
like change. Yeah.
yeah, like the visual of that is just so crazy. Like the next day I'm crying because I'm like, I just met God. And like, but after a while, like I would say that day, like my life just changed. And I'd say my goals even changed from like being a model or being an actress or like doing these certain things. So like I actually just want to show God's love on a platform or like to everyone I meet. So
Wow. I like that. Yeah. How about you, Lily?
Well, my relationship with God has been a absolute roller coaster. I have had my highs and lows with him for sure, where I just didn't talk to him. I just didn't go to him, and every single time that happened, I didn't go to him, and I like ignored the signs and I ignored whatever he was trying to show me, or just didn't want to talk to him or didn't have time. I things would just go downhill. My life would just break and break and break, and everything would just fall to pieces. And then I recently went through one of the hardest heartbreaks of my entire life, and I lost control of God for a hot minute, for 2.5 years probably. I've always been a Christian and always grew up like Athena, like grew up in a household with believers and all that stuff and going to church and whatever. But I was just going through a hard time for 2.5 years, and I didn't go to him for anything. I didn't talk to him. I said I didn't have time and all this stuff. Well, after this heartbreak that I recently had, I just got on my hands and knees and was like, I have nowhere else to go. I have nowhere nobody else to talk to. I'm raising this kid by myself. Like, I don't have a clue what to do. Like, I need a job, I need a house, I need money, I need I need everything. So I put my hands and everything that I was going through at his feet, or my heart, in his hands and at his feet. And I was like, I can't. It's been so heavy on me and tore me down to where I was nothing. And I can no longer feel this way. I can no longer feel this heavy because I have to wake up every day and I have to be strong for my child and I have to keep going no matter what. And if it wasn't for my baby, I honestly probably wouldn't be here because he has literally saved my life. And one day he'll know that, but I just put everything at his feet and was like, here's my heart, God, I trust you wherever you lead me. Take my hand, and I have my baby on my hip, and take my hand, and we go wherever you go. And I'm putting it at your feet, and I'm no longer picking it back up because I cannot do it anymore. Like, I always set it down at his feet, and then I would go and pick it back up and feel heavy again. And then I would put it at his feet and then go pick it up again. So I was like, I can't do it anymore. So I just laid everything down and have trusted him ever since. And opportunity after opportunity has came along, and I pray and I journal and I read devotionals and I read the Bible and everything and talk to him every day throughout my day. And my life has completely flipped upside down, and I have now not been strong for so long, and I'm finally at such a strong point that I'm like, wow, I can't ever lose him ever again, because it always just everything crashes and burns when you don't have him in your life. And
Yeah.
I completely experienced that. So I know.
Yeah. Oh my God, thank you so much for sharing these experiences, you guys. I mean, Lily, you gotta have to like listen, okay? Listen to God. Whatever, decision that you're gonna be doing the next few days, listen to God, okay? How about you, Bree?
My experience started over COVID, and this girl Athena, she was the one that led me to God. No, but it was actually a super fun experience. Like, living with Athena through COVID was probably one of the highs of my life so far. Girl. And so, I mean, before it all started, I was close with God, but I wasn't close with God. So, Athena, she just, kind of hinted God to like me, like, here and there. And I would always just be like, okay, like, that's really cool. But I wouldn't be like, reading the Bible at 5 a.m. every morning.
Mhm.
And then we started Bible study. And that helped a lot just through with all the situations that happened over COVID. And, I think just having Athena there be with me every day just remind me of like his word and like, what to do and like just like how to live life by his word really helped me push my faith towards him. So I started to see life like in a different way. Instead of like having to worry about everything, I sort of saw everything just like it's supposed to be like that. Like, don't worry, just trust. So, I mean, if it wasn't for Athena, girl, I would not have my faith in God, honestly.
Yeah, I think that's like, remember, Tina, I always like tell you, aw. I tell you that I think that whole thing that you got stuck here in the house was for a reason, right? That was for a reason,
Gotcha.
and
You
yeah,
guys
and
are
maybe I know, Lily, you had Ryder for like, for at a young age, but somehow, just like what you shared with us, if not for Ryder, like your baby saved you from,
Yeah, God
you know,
definitely brought him
struggle.
at a very great time in my life.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my God, thank you guys for sharing your experience with God. I mean, I hope moms who are listening right now and girls who are listening right now, give it a try. I mean, we're not forcing you to do it, because I know, don't wait until something really, really bad happens to you, or that's what they say. Until you spiral down, that's when you really, call upon God. But maybe now that you're hearing this, maybe, do it now. Why wait? Why wait until you spiral down or hit the rock bottom, right? We're all like, oh my gosh, we're done. We're almost done. And thank you so much, okay, for sharing your experience. But one last from each one of you. Is there anything else that you think is important to know about women from your generation? What is one advice that you can give someone, your own generation, like your same age, or the you guys call yourselves the millennials? One last and very quick. Give me like maybe three things, like a take home for our audience.
Um,
I'd say keep pushing. Like when I'm talking to my mom about the way that my grandma and like my great grandma's generation like made the way for us. I think we have so much opportunities now that it's so important to just keep pushing for the next generation.
That's so good. I like that. Yeah.
Run your own race at your own pace, and don't think you have to, if someone's this head of you, don't think you have to be there. You'll get there eventually. Just go at your own pace and do your own thing and run your own race.
Like that.
That's good.
How about you?
Mine would probably just to trust. I know that's hard for a lot of people, because trusting in something that you don't see is really hard. So I just think trust in the process, don't worry too much. Just believe that whatever will happen.
Love that. Thank you so much, girls. And I hope you guys talk after this. Thank you so much. And whatever you guys are going through, just believe in, your faith. Believe that you can do it. And for women who are like my age, that we had so much experience, we had so much past, don't look back on the past. Ladies, don't look back. Always move forward. Always move forward. And, just like what Brianna says, trust your faith and trust God. Thank you so much, women. And I'm so happy that I invited these three girls. Thank you so much. And I'm so proud of the three of you. I mean, seriously, I'm so proud of the three of you. It's not, being proud is not accomplishing something big in life, or that, being famous or something like that. It's not that. I mean, just to see you guys, how you guys have good characters, and it's very, very, very seldom to find that to people like your age. So I'm really proud of you. Thank you so much, and don't forget to give love to the next person that you see after watching and listening to our show. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. You guys call each other.
You're listening to The Polished Woman with Jessica Bunevacz, only on LA Talk Radio.